What's good, YouTube? It's Nas. I'm back with another video. Road to 300 subscribers, of course. In today's video, we're going to be talking about Paul George, and it looks like Paul George is not the same player at all. Maybe he's injured, or maybe it's not. But this really looks like the beginning of the end of Paul George being a meaningful basketball player. It's crazy because last season he was literally an all-star. I don't know how you could fall off this badly, this fast. And he's 34 years old. The 76ers, I kind of fucked because they signed him to a 3-year contract. So if Paul George can't step up his game to last year's Paul George at least before the playoffs, obviously. But if he can't step that shit up, the 76ers are fucked for the next 3 years unless they can find a way to get off his contract. And in reality, they're just going to have to build around Maxey soon. I think the process should have been over 2 years ago. But hey, man, let's just get into Paul George's career, because this is the worst I've ever seen Paul George. He's actually bad. He's terrible. I saw a stat where he hasn't had 30 points since... No, he hasn't had 24 points since fucking January 24th. And that was when he had 30 points. So, I don't know what happened to him. He's one of the role players in the NBA. He's dead ass a role player. February 20th, pretty sure that was yesterday or 2 days ago. Yeah, he had 17. He almost had 20. February 12th, he had 2 points. Listen to that again. Paul George had 2 points in an NBA game. So what the fuck are we doing? February 11th, he had 14 points. February 9th, he had 12 points. February 7th, he had 14 points. February 5th, he had 9 points. January 25th, he had 9 points. And January 24th, he had 30 points. So that was the last time he's had 30 points, which is crazy to say for Paul George. He hasn't had 30 points all month. 20 points at least all month. January 21st, he had 11 points. I'm not even about to do this, because in the month of January, he only had 5 games of above 20 points. And for Paul George making that type of money, it doesn't make sense for the 76ers at all. They basically replaced Tobias Harris with a worse version of Tobias Harris, and now Tobias Harris is playing amazing for the Detroit Pistons and helping out Cade Cunningham and potentially making the Detroit Pistons a playoff team this season, while Paul George is in and out of the lineup with injuries. Joel Embiid is in and out of the lineup with injuries. Maxey's the only fluent player, and before Jared McCain went down, I'm pretty sure I made a video on Jared McCain being the best player on the Philadelphia 76ers. So what the hell is Paul George even doing here? It's like he's taking up shots for guys like Kelly Oubre, guys like you got Yabusele. He's just a waste of space at this point. Maybe it's because the knee injury. He talking about he's not even supposed to be playing right now. So why the fuck are you playing, bro? Shut yourself down. You're making yourself look bad this season. Pretty sure this is gonna taint his legacy in some type of way, which doesn't stand out to the Paul George that I know and the Paul George I have been watching since I was literally a child. So why the fuck would you make yourself look this bad and in front of the Philadelphia 76ers fans, of all fans? Because you saw how they pushed out Ben Simmons, you saw how they treated Tobias Harris. So imagine they're treating you like this and you're playing worse than both of them. You're dead ass terrible. Yeah, maybe I'm going on a rant about Paul George. Fuck it, it is a rant, because what are you actually he's not doing anything productive. It's not like he's playing hard-nosed defense, so that makes up for his terrible offensive ability now. He can't blow by you. He can't get past you anymore. Paul George is known for being shifty, but none of that shifty shit is working. So why not switch it up? And not even switch it up, why not rest until you're healthy like every other NBA player does? It just seems like you and Embiid are certain that y'all are going to make a playoff push and a playoff run, when in reality, if y'all even get that play-in spot from the Bulls, the 10th seed, which it would be, you would have to beat the Hawks, and you would have to beat, I'm pretty sure it's the Pistons or some shit like that. But you're not making it deep in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure you're not even getting to the second round, because in the first round, if you get the 8th seed, which that's the highest seed you're going to be able to get, you're going to have to play the Cavs or the Celtics. And as we've seen, if they play the Celtics, they got their ass beat by 30. So if they play the Celtics again, they're fucked. Like, they're not going to be able to do anything at all. And then the Cavs, you see the way the Cavs looked against the Knicks yesterday? I'm not, nah, bro. I'm not believing in the 76ers. I think early in the season I believed him, but in the preseason, it showed you all you needed to see, because literally in the first game, Paul George's first game, he got fucking injured. So why? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, you see the Spurs are shutting down Wemby for a blood clot. Yes, it's a blood clot. You can't play with that shit. It can mess up your whole entire career, but so can a knee injury, basically. Because Paul George, he broke his leg, literally. So why would you force yourself to play through this shit? Like, I'm going to bring up the stats from when he was on the Clippers, because his OKC days, obviously, that was his best seasons. 21-22, Paul George averaged 24.5 points per game, 7 rebounds and 5.5 assists. 22-23, he had 24 points, 6 rebounds and 5 assists. 23-24, he had 22.5 points per game, 5 rebounds and 3.5 assists. In 24-25, he's averaging 16 points, 5 rebounds and 4 assists. How can a drop-off be that significantly bad? Like, how can you drop off that far? Like, you're Paul George. Like, I don't understand. Maybe I'm rating him too high. Like, I know what Paul George was going into the season. I didn't expect him to be this bad. Like, I didn't expect him to literally be worse than Tobias Harris and worse than Klay Thompson, who came off 2 meniscus surgeries, and he's still being an impactful player for the Dallas Mavericks some nights. And it seems like Paul George isn't an impactful player on the 76ers team at all. Like, I don't know. Quentin Grimes just got there, and he's more impactful than Paul George right now. And you got this nigga making podcasts in the middle of the season. Like, he's been bad. Like, he turns 35 in 2 months, and I don't see it getting much better for Paul George unless this offseason he really takes his recovery seriously. He really takes the offseason seriously, and he comes back a different Paul George like I've never seen before, like, or that comeback he made when he broke his leg. But he's 35. Like, games with 20 plus points this season, Payton Pritchard got 17 and Paul George is 9. Like, does that? Come on, bro. Come on. That's not Paul George. And maybe they cloned this nigga or some shit. I don't know. But I gotta make a joke of how bad he is. But let me know how y'all feel about Paul George's season right now. I had to talk about that shit. I got some videos right here. If you enjoyed this video you just watched, video on the right and video on the left, and click on it.